Scholars, welcome to the Counselor's Office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are back. That's right. I'm going to be spicing it up. There's going to be some other videos later today, so whichever I decide to release, but we're going to spice it up. But we're going to give our daily dose of reactions. That's right. I know I will eventually do some original content, as people call it. But I mean, I've always been somewhat of a react channel for the past year or so. So like, if you're not surprised, Scholars, I don't know what to tell you. That's just how the cookie crumbles. But you know what is crumbling right now? Trials. That's right. We're going to watch a video by ZK Mushroom, who is just more of a top tier PvP player. And we're going to get a perspective on Trials, specifically the changes. The whole tier system has impacted Trials. And I was shocked because I literally got tier 5 weapons to drop from Trials. And I got losses. Like, I was getting my ass kicked. Hell, there were times where I was just jumping off the map like this team sucks ass. And I just for losing, I got tier 5 like god roll. And I'm like, okay, that's not should be a thing. Like, even as someone, even though I'm not a diehard PvP player, even I like having the juicy loot, even I gotta recognize, yeah, tier 5 should not be just handed out like candy, just because you're at a certain level. Like, the whole system sucks ass. It's great for loot, and if you don't give a shit about PvP, you are eating your heart out. And so I do feel like there's going to be a back and forth in this video. So if you're a PvP player, give your thoughts down below. And if you aren't a PvP player, be sure to give your thoughts down below. I don't know how. I feel like there could be some real toxic conversations. So we can agree to disagree with each other. Let's just not like, let's be honest. This is going to become a Call of Duty lobby in the comments section. Have fun. Let's jump into the video and see what's about.
It's time to once again talk about Trials of Osiris.
No, I refuse. Always refresh, chat. Always refresh.
Trials of Osiris. I recently made a video talking about how to change Trials and what didn't work. And with the new expansion, The Edge of Fate, Trials of Osiris somewhat managed to get worse than it was. If nothing changes, I think it is officially going to be the end of the beloved game mode that lasted for more than 10 years in Destiny. Trials.
That's actually, it's funny because every time I've heard this, like Trials has always had ups and downs. I think the prime of Trials was when it first came out in Destiny 2, like way back in the day, right? That's when it was hype. That's when it was like fresh. And after that, it seems like Bungie just didn't give a shit. Cheaters everywhere, like people like flying around the map, blowing things up, becoming the size of the witness, like actual like real people ruining the experiences of other people who paid to play fair. They bought the game. And they're just some guy is wall hacking, aimbotting, like actually ruining the experience of other people. And Bungie's just turned a blind eye most of the time. We've seen these ups and downs, but now apparently that's not the case. Apparently we've hit a new floor, so I'm interested to see what he has to say about that.
Is currently completely losing its identity. That's the big problem. The main goal, which is to reach the Lighthouse Golden Chest, is completely pointless this season. Getting 7 wins without losing in Trials was the most satisfying PvP moment in Destiny history, in my opinion. You'd have people screaming when they...
Destiny 1, I even in Destiny 2, like at Destiny 2, it's lost its flavor. Destiny 1 was first off, the lighthouse felt cooler, more unique, in my opinion. Like, you just go on top of the lighthouse and it's like, oh, whatever, go a couple. Like, you had like an actual social space in Destiny 1 when you went to the trial. Like, you got an actual social space of other people. So it was actually really cool. You got to this rare social space no one else really got access to. And it just felt like a bigger moment, and it felt more rewarding, in my opinion, in that regard. Obviously, you get more loot now than ever before, but I
would finally land at the lighthouse for the first time. You would get rain with loot, get unique weapons that are adept, unique ornaments to use on your cool armor, etc. With this season, Bungie removed adept weapons to replace them with tier 5 weapons. Tier 5 weapons, I'm going to be honest, are pretty nice. They have all the perks, barrel, mag, everything enhanced, and they can even use the new enhanced mods. You think that getting that from the lineup...
Essentially, adepts were sunset or enhanced. Like, adept mods are enhanced mods.
Chest would be pretty amazing, right? And that it would be guaranteed if you get a flawless, right? Nah, Bungie said, no. You actually need to get 400 plus lights and Guardian rank 8 to 9 to get that. That is just an awful...
It is. If you need Guardian rank 9 and to be a 400, like, who thought this system was good? It's the same thing for PvE. Like, why is it not based on the difficulty of the activity? Why is it you need 2 fucking other things? Like, they really want, they're like, people are like, Guardian ranks is fucking stupid. Bungie's like, bet, we're going to make it worse. We're going to make you hate Guardian ranks even fucking more. Especially since both power progression and Guardian ranks reset.
System, in my opinion. Someone at 400 light could play trials, get a few wins, get the same or even better loot than the person completing the most intense PvP achievements. The flawless. Like, what? For example, the first card that I played in Edge of Fates with Astrocross and Frost. I was 300 lights, Frostbow was 350, and Astrocross was around 400 something. We all played together, got the 7 win streak, the flawless, reached the lighthouse, we opened the chest. Astrocross got 4 tier 5 drops, and maybe like 1 tier 4. Frostbolts got tier 3 and tier 4.
If you are 400 and you go flawless, it's like Christmas. You are any other level, it is like ass. It is insane. And it's funny because I was literally 400 and got a fail. I went to the lighthouse. Was on a 1 win streak because I just kept on getting like shitty players. Literally 1 win streak, lost a game while continuing to farm, and I got a tier 5. It doesn't make any sense.
4. I got tier 2 and tier 3. Even though we did the same exact activity, it was really like tough for all of us, and only Astrocross got the tier 5. Like, that makes absolutely 0 sense. Everyone that plays trials and reach the lighthouse, which is super tough, let's be honest, should be able to get guaranteed tier 5.
Yeah.
And if
it's no joke,
streak of 7+, they should get more tier 5. Guaranteed.
You also can't go back to the lighthouse. Once you go once, you're done. Like, essentially, if you don't get the 7 in the first try, you've got to reset. Like, they went backwards. The whole point of going back to the lighthouse was so people wouldn't feel like they had to consistently reset their card. They could farm loot by going to the tower multiple times, and then you could get your win streak after that. But they essentially just took that away, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Even if they're 200 light power. And why do I care so much about all this stuff? Like, I'm not trying to gatekeep. I'm currently the max level, 400, blah, blah, blah. And I'm getting the tier 5 from Trials. I should be happy, right? But no, the problem is going to be the population of Trials of Osiris. So the first weekend of Burnouts, which is the best map, and it should be booming.
Man, they're really going to nerf Outbreak Perfected. That hurts my soul. 2 things that Destiny PvP players hate. Not having a hand cannon meta and pulse rifles. 10% of all the kills is Outbreak. It's getting fucking hammered, dude. Oh, Outbreak is such a good gun, and it's going to get nerfed because of PvP. Bungie doesn't know how to balance shit. We already know this.
And it should have so many players. We only got 150,000 players in Trials. Yes, I understand that since the final shape, we lost a majority of the population. But 150,000 players on a brand new DLC with the best map and new changes and new armor and new weapons should be more than that. 150,000 used to be a low.
Damn, you got to think about that. That 150,000 actually is all like... It is not just like, we're not talking about, this isn't Steam numbers, by the way. This isn't Steam. This is all like consoles, everything added together. This is all the numbers together. That is fucking bad. Because you can think about it like, yeah, just damn. Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. That's pretty bad.
With the best map and new changes and new armor and new weapons, should be more than that.
By the way, this gun's going to continue to just exist because everyone's going to look at Outbreak Perfected. This gun needs nerf just as much as Outbreak. If Outbreak gets a nerf, this thing is too damn strong.
That's 150,000 used to be a low for Trials of Osiris, like back in the days. We used to get 300 plus each weekend, and 150 was like really bad. And I'm not trying to gatekeep. Bungie recently made the Lighthouse chest more accessible to people, which is good because we needed more people in Trials. But now those people that are getting the Lighthouse chests, they don't get anything good, so they're probably just gonna stop playing. And right now,
no, that's the thing. Like, you getting 7 wins should, if you get 7 wins, you should be guaranteed a tier 5. Like, what? Depending on your, like, obviously, if you're going to say you get 5 tier 5s for a full 7 flawless, that's the top. At the low end, you should be guaranteed at least 1. And then reset. And you can regrind, and that way you're still being rewarded for your time. You're still getting good loot. You guaranteed a tier, like it's a guaranteed tier 5 one way or another. So you're having people play this game mode. You're having people it's not a total feels bad. It's not like it's just being handed to you because you still got to get 7 wins. So you have to still earn it one way or another. Whether your streak is good or ass, you still have to earn it. But at the same time, it's rewarding the people who get 7 wins. At the top echelon, they're getting the loot no matter what level they're at. They're getting the best loot because they did the best they could possibly do. So, like, it's not gatekeeping if it's done correctly, where people at the low end are still able to be rewarded, while the people in the top end are very much rewarded. And it continues that cycle that it used to be, where people had a reason to continue to grind, because even if you had a shit run, you could still get some loot, and it felt nice to still go to the Lighthouse.
On Trials, we have 2 passages. The passage on the left side is a practice trial. So what that means is it's taking your skill-based matchmaking to match you against players with similar skills. So if you're not the greatest at Trials, you can play that card and play against people that are not the greatest also. And those people that take the left side passage should not match the people with the right side passage. It's really rare. And the right side passage allows you to reach the Lighthouse. So if you get 7 wins or 7 wins.
I don't know, because I've never played the training passage, whether you can still get tier 5s. If you can get tier 5s and you're like a low tier right now, the best time is just use the training passage. Like, if you're 400, go for the easy tier 5s on that passage. I don't know.
You can go to
someone let me know in the comments down below.
So you know what people are doing right now? They are just taking the left side passage and playing the skill-based matchmaking and just getting easier games. And guess what? They win games. They get the tier 5. They get the same exact loot that the people from the right side are getting. And that's really not healthy. And
even if you lose, you still get the loot.
The population is already split in half with those 2 cards. But guess what? Bungie is not done. They have more pulls. So you got left side passage. You got right side passage. You got solo queue. You got duo queue. You got trio. And after you got NA, EU, Asia, all the different countries, you got console, you got PC. And that's not all. So when you get 7 win streaks, which is flawless, you are placed in now the flawless pool. What that flawless pool is pretty much skill-based matchmaking against people that also got flawless. So you constantly match the same players or the same cheaters. And for the 7 win streaks, you are...
Oh, that's my cat.
Supposed to get more loots if you continue with that same card because you achieved the 7 win streak. But right now this season, it feels like the loot is exactly the same when I start my card than when I'm like 7 win streak and I'm continuing the card. It doesn't make any sense. And maybe it's bug, I have no idea. So yeah, Trials is just a big mess right now, and none of the guns are also really worth grinding for. Some of them are good. The Forgiveness is good. The Acious Care is good. But the spread hand cannons are definitely not a fan favorites. They're pretty hard to use.
They're mostly good for PvE.
So yeah, we need another...
And the LMG is amazing for PvE.
Igneous Hammer or something really crazy for people to get involved with Trials. And let's be honest, what's the point of playing Trials when you could just run solo ops every 4 or 5 minutes, get the most insane tier 5, and it's efficient, it's fast, and it's also not as hard as getting flawless in Trials and dealing with all the crucible bullshit. So yeah, I really hope that the things will change.
He cut himself off.
The system is new. I'm not blaming Bungie for this. They're trying new stuff, and I think Edge of Fate is a step in...
No, I think you should blame Bungie. I don't know, like, I don't think you have to test this out to understand how bad it is. Like at what point, like someone actually had to make the decision to choose not to give tier 5s or to allow this to be the system. Like I would not give Bungie, like, and yes, he's a Destiny content creator, so he's not going to try to shit on Bungie. I'll do it for you. There is no excuse for $1 billion company that knows its player base, that understands, especially the high-end PvP, fucking understands how rewards work and how this change would factor into the overall community. There is no fucking way that you had to test this shit out. Anyone with 2 brain cells who actually play this game understands, oh, wait, you're not guaranteed tier 5s? Wait, you can only go to the lighthouse 1 time? Wait, you only get pinnacles 1 time? And that's the real reason the system is in it. What he's not saying it, but I'll say it. The reason why the system is the way it is right now is not for the benefit of the player. It's because if you go to the tower, or to the lighthouse, should I say, you get pinnacle drops, which increases your light. Granted, you can get pinnacle drops. Like, if you're at 400 and you're chasing to get 450, the only way to do that is getting the pinnacle drops, which drop the next level up. That's how you get, obviously you're going to get nothing but tier 4s. That pinnacle drop will always be at tier 5, which allows you to scale up to 450. You get that power from the lighthouse. And so if for people who want to consistently play trials, that would be a fast way to power progress yourself, is going to get 7 wins, go to the tower, get some power loot. They don't want that, which is why they cut access to where it's a 1-time only. And which is why, we're going to cut access to that. So we've got to make it easier for everyone else to get loot, because we've cut this outlet where casual players or people who aren't great at PvP would constantly go to the tower after 7 wins. At least they get something, even if their win streak was bad. They would still get something for going to the tower. They took that away. Like, okay, we're just going to give out as much loot as possible for wins and losses, and it's based on your light level versus actually like your streak. Like, they turned it into basic PvP versus what like the system it was fine. I don't think anyone was upset because it was pretty overall rewarding. It's just that Bungie changed it because they didn't want people to take advantage of the tower, the lighthouse, which would allow for easier power progression, because Bungie wants you to stay on the hamster wheel. That's why they want you to stay on the hamster wheel. That's why this changes here. No one wants to say it, but I'm going to say it for you. This is all, they knew exactly what they were doing. They didn't need to test this. They knew exactly what bullshit they were doing, because they do not want you having easy access to leveling up, which is why they removed Encore the first time, which is why they patched out the cheese immediately the second time for Encore, which is why they nerfed grapple, because people were using it as intended, but people were going too fast, and Bungie didn't like that because they wanted you to continue to stay on the wheel of fortune. Like, everything they have done has been on purpose. Stop thinking that this $1 billion company, yes, they are incompetent. Yes, they are stupid. Yes, they make absolutely dumb decisions. But at a fundamental level, they know exactly what they are doing, especially when it comes to power progression. They knew exactly what they were doing. The game itself is the power. That's it. It's not the loot, it's the power. Which is why they give out the loot like it's nothing, like it's hotcakes, because they don't give a shit. It's the power, because you're going to continue to grind because you need the power to get the pinnacle loot. That's why they do it.
In the right direction. We have more grind, more stuff to do in the game, but I think really pinnacle activities like raids, dungeons, trials, GMs, you should get rewarded for like your efforts, and like
exactly.
It's always been a problem in Destiny. You don't get the loots that you deserve, pretty much. And lastly, we just got away from an ability spam meta with Witch Queen, Beyond Lights, the Final Shape. Like, there was a lot of abilities, and we finally got away from them. And now with this new season, Bungie changed the build crafting. People are getting more grenades, they're getting more throwing knife, more smoke, more everything because they now can build into it. And I think it's going to become a problem in Trials. I'm already saying like, wait.
It's intentional. They're gonna let it thrive, and they intentionally even said it themselves. We're just gonna let things ride out, and then we're gonna tune it. Like they said it before the expansion launched. They're just gonna throw it, let it hit the pan, and then they're going to take the feedback and adjust it. They want you to be the beta tester. They didn't even bother test PvP. That's the funny thing. He's not going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you. They literally let PvP players be the beta testers. We're going to make the system. You're going to tell us what's wrong, good, and then we'll fix it. We're not going to fix it ahead of time. We're not going to play test. We don't have time for that shit. You're going to be our play testers and you're going to tell us and then we'll fix it. So I do think that they will hone things in after people like ZK balance it out by giving feedback. Like at least ZK gets paid to play Destiny. So it's not like he's not being paid to be a beta tester.
Too many abilities and I'm just ranting a little bit about it. I would love when it's gunplay, but I also like abilities, but just don't want to see too much abilities. I'm done talking. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's more of a rant than like an informational video, but I hope you guys enjoy. Take care.
Again, it's nice to hear someone from the PvP side that has a lot of experience and plays the game in the PvP high end. But he, like I said, I know he's a content creator. He's trying to stay in the good graces. It's crazy that the content creators who are always trying to stay in the good graces of Bungie, especially if their job dependent on it. I get it's crazy to me. Say it with your chest. You know why? I know why. It is saying that it's not Bungie's fault. Bitch, they're the ones that made the changes. Like, what are we talking about? What is this? Oh, it's not their fault. Yeah, it is. They literally told you that they weren't balancing shit. It is their fault. The whole system was designed by them. It's not like Bungie. You can't blame like High Noon Studios or whatever studios Activision has or used to have. You can't blame Microsoft or Activision. Like, damn, I can't believe they made that decision. Poor Bungie. No, Bungie did this all on their own. Like, it's like pointing at the arsonist and saying, "Oh man, it's not the arsonist's fault. The house is on fire. It's a shame." No, they set the house on fire. It is their fault. You should be calling them out. You should be criticizing them. Say, "Hey, why are you doing this?" The whole stat changes was their decision. Them choosing not to balance PvP. They literally owned it and said it out loud. We ain't doing shit. So it is crazy. So I like ZK. I don't watch a lot of his stuff, but anytime I've seen him, it's usually him reacting to cheaters and people like breaking the game in PvP. So it's always a fun trip. But yeah, I mean, I also have everything like people are going to be like, "You're gatekeeping." Again, the old system wasn't very gatekeeping, and you still got rewards. Like obviously we didn't have tier systems back then, but you still got rewards for wins as you went or losses as you went up the chain, right? As you got your 7 wins. And like I said, you still got to go to the lighthouse. So it was a win-win for everyone. You had people playing, people who were, struggle, got to play and get loot. Like it was all win-win. Now it's kind of like, well, what's going to happen and what's going to really suck, especially for casuals who actually want to get into PvP. What's going to happen is that people are going to get all the loot they want right off the rip, and then they're going to dip. And all that's going to be left is your very low end and your very high end. And you're going to end up having to match each other, or you're going to sit there and wait and wait and wait and wait. But there's a good chance that's what's going to happen because, eventually the threshold says, okay, well, we have no one in your SBM, so we're just going to put you together. That, or you get screwed and you start getting stuck with duos the entire time instead of having solos, or you get stuck randomly with a trio and you hate your life. But that's my thoughts. Again, PvPers, let me know what you think down below, whether what side you're on and what you think. Even though I'm not diehard, I can see the problem with it. I could just shut my mouth and be like, hey, I can benefit from just throwing myself off a cliff and getting all the loot, which is not what I totally didn't do. Listen, I never hide that I've been an asshole in PvP. I do not care. But like I said, let me know what you think. The link to his video will be down below. Give him a like, give him a sub, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, don't forget to game out.